Hey everyone, it's a rainy day here in Shenanigans. I'm on my survival mode. I'm not able to turn off the rain here. Um, but what we're doing is, as you can see, we're back on Gargantuan. And as you can see, I'm not struggling for resources here on Gargantuan, and that actually includes diamonds and coal and gold and all those other fun things that everyone struggles to actually find and mine in the natural world. But I'm going to show you a little trick that actually works only if you have a realm. And you know what? That's not bad. And I'll tell you why in a minute here. But basically, you only need this handful of stuff to do this. And this actually used to work on the old console editions as well. Just a comparator, a lever, a crafting table, a little bit of redstone. Get that up into the dropper. You need a dropper too, and you want your comparator in the on position there, so make sure you've got that. And then basically anything that you want to replicate, I am going to show it to you with diamonds here, but put those in the dropper. Now you do need at least, I would say probably about 20 or so. Or more to get this to work, because what you're going to do is craft these into blocks. So, and the great thing about Bedrock Edition is you can do this. So, previously when you would do this on the console editions, you'd have to quickly start the little machine and then desperately search for the item that you're looking to replicate or duplicate, whatever you want to call it here. So a block of D will get us the diamond block instantly right when I go into the crafting table, and I can just start kind of spamming A to craft this. So I'm going to show you how this works. So I'm going to turn it on, and I'm just going to hit A as many times as I can, and look at all of the diamond blocks I got. So a couple of seconds there. Oops, I flipped the comparator off. And then we're just going to craft these back. So remember, I had 20 to start with, and now I've got 64 and 1, 65. So that is just great. That's so easy to do. Again, it doesn't seem to work on... if you're not on a realm, if you're just on your Xbox. So there's just this perfect amount of lag that you get from playing on a realm. So if you don't have a realm, you can get a 30-day free trial. So what I would say is set yourself up with the items you want to duplicate, and then go to town for your 30 days until you have an abundance that you think will last you. What I'll do is I'll show you kind of what I've done. I've kind of improved on this design a little bit here. So I've built this little hut, or whatever you want to call it, and I've actually doubled up on everything. So I've got my comparator down there, my lever here, the crafting table. I'm just going to stand on it, and then 2 dispensers, and that works wonderfully. And let's craft something else here. So gold, let's do gold. And I'm finding that the perfect sort of limit on what to craft is 4 stacks worth, I would say. So after that, I kind of start running into issues where I'm holding, like, I've got too many blocks and my inventory can't handle it. So, and then the other thing I've done here is these are trap chests just to make it easier to put them in, but I'm putting half in each chest on each side, and then I've got 2 sets of hoppers going and feeding into the dropper. That way they go in quicker. Otherwise you run into I mean, it's not necessary, but you run into an issue where the dispensers are moving slower, or the droppers are moving slower, because you're waiting on the hoppers to feed the dropper, and so the system actually clicks a little bit faster than how quickly the droppers can spit those out. So two sets of hoppers going into it, so they're going in twice as fast, or these 2 hoppers here are pulling it out, and then these are going in there. So I'll give it a second here for these to somewhat fill up before I get it going, and I do need to change this from block of diamond to block of gold. Perfect, easy peasy. And then the other thing too, and you can do this with, I have all of my materials in Gargantuan that you can replicate, so to speak, right here next to my replicating machine. So basically anything that you can turn into a block and then recraft back down into its, sort of smaller form, so to speak. So redstone, lapis, iron, although iron is not really an issue for us since we've got the quad iron farms on the outside of Gargantuan. Gold, diamond, emeralds. Emeralds are huge. These are huge, and I'll show you why. But basically for trading with villagers, there's so much you can do with that. It's a huge benefit. So blocks of coal. I am not scarce on coal. And then even one thing I almost didn't think about is slime blocks. So once you get enough slime, you can go in and just, you're infinite slime. So for those of you who like to do things with sticky pistons, slime used to kind of be the struggle, but no more, no more. So here we go. And then the other thing, instead of hitting A to craft, the thing that's nice about Bedrock is you can hit Y or your craft all button. So much better. This works so, so good. So as you can see, I've already up to almost 2 stacks. Going on my 3rd stack of blocks of gold, so not an issue at all. So just, I mean, it's a little boring sitting here, but all I'm doing is just spamming Y as fast as I could, or as fast as I can. The one downside to the old console editions was you didn't have that Y, and then the other thing was you kind of had to time it as to when you spammed the button, so you're kind of listening for the clicks. This just doesn't matter anymore, so this is so easy. I can literally get up and go into my kitchen or whatever you want to do while you're sitting here just spamming this. So if you want to go crazy, set up some Netflix or something going on another device and just keep going. So I'm going to run through this whole everything that I've loaded into the system here, and we'll fast forward here a little bit and we'll see how much I end up with. Alright, so it looks like I've almost filled my inventory here. I'm going to turn it off because I hate the clicking noise, but as you can see, I got a good several rows of blocks of coal here just from that. So I started with the 4, and then ended up with all of these. So this is so, oh my gosh, this is so easy. I feel like I'm cheating. I kind of am. I'm kind of cheating. But for those that like to use these things to make tools and construct things out of them, if you're doing it in survival, it's impossible. It's impossible to mine this much gold. So you'd spend hours and hours and hours. So you know, I'm glad this works. I'm glad this little bit of a glitch works. But so that's what I've done to get majority of these things. I still do mine stuff when I see it. This chest here feeds into Gargantuan, so I mean ultimately those gold blocks are going to end up back here in this chest. So the other thing that really kind of connects with, you can hear my sorting system go, but the other thing that's really important to being able to replicate items the way we just showed you is we need emeralds to be able to repair the tools, at least the way that I'm doing it. So what I'll show you here is I've got just a separate chest up here, and this is one of the iron farms, and so here's all these villagers throughout the iron farm. So I've actually, along this wall, I've grabbed, and it just seemed to be the fastest for me, but I've got all shepherds here, so they'll trade you emeralds for wool. Let's get rid of a few items in my hand here just so I have extra space. But so what we'll do is I'm gonna shrink these down here to emeralds instead of blocks of emeralds, and I'm tabbing over to the wool, and if you push Y, you can take as many as that villager will let you trade for, and then bump her over to the next one. And as you see, I'm getting experience for this, so this is huge. I really don't care too much about the wool that I'm getting, but I want to repair this enchanted pickaxe that I have, so I don't ever want to have to lose this pickaxe. And you know, if you go and repair it at an anvil, it costs more and more experience every time you do that. So this gains experience, so much better, right? So now that I have that axe in my hand, it'll repair as I trade with this villager. So you know, you usually get between like 6 and 10 or so trades all at once here. So once you kind of get the rhythm going here, I like to put all the wool on the left side, so that way once I've got at least some of each color, I can just kind of go up and down right next to where the emeralds are ending up. Whoops, as I trade here, so I'll show you what color I'm talking about here. Right, so I've got one of every color. Move this guy out of the way. And if you've got a lot of enchantments, and if you've got unbreaking, and mending is critical here, so you can kind of see, this is kind of my favorite setup for pickaxes, is fortune, unbreaking, efficiency 5, and mending. So, and I do have a silk touch one. Of course, there's no point in having fortune on the silk touch one, but so that's kind of my preferred setup. And then once you get mending on there, that's how you're getting the repair for the experience on these. So you can see it's a little bit easier when it's right here, and I can go through this faster. Trade. So you get the idea here. When you've got unbreaking on your axes and tools, it takes a little bit longer, but you get the idea. So I don't have to worry about this anymore. So I don't have to worry about losing this awesome pickaxe, or having to gain just tons and tons of experience before I can go back and actually repair it. So all of these things are sorted into gargantuan. So we are dumping them into the system, and they will get sorted. I just love watching the lights turn on as the items go up and get taken away. Go fly, my little items. So, and I can show you too, we've got an abundance of wool down here just because we've been doing that over and over and over again. So just every one of these is at least the front chest. But one of the things that I just recently discovered is when you've got a bow and arrow, if you're familiar with enchantments for bows and arrows, or bows anyway, there's one of them, that one down on the bottom there is called Infinity. So kind of the way that works is you only need one arrow to, you only have to hold on to one arrow. You get an infinite amount of arrows. So, you know what, I should have just grabbed one. I'm so smart, you guys, I'm so smart. And I've actually got an extra one that I'm holding on to here, so I'm going to get rid of this one just for demonstrative purposes. But so I've got a damaging arrow there as well. So I've got one arrow in my inventory, and you know what, you can even put it down here if you're, if you're someone that likes to keep track of how many arrows you're going through. I've got flame on my bow, so the arrows are going there. So that's how that works. Now, another thing that's somewhat new to the consoles is the offhand. You can put stuff in your offhand. So with enchanted arrows, or arrows that you've added potions to, so I added an instant damage to this arrow. So it's an arrow of harming. Now, normally, even if you have an infinity bow, you'll still consume any specialty arrows like this, but not if you put it in your offhand. So now I've got, not only do I have all of my enchantments going on this on the bow, but now my arrows do even more damage because I'm using my arrow of harming. So that's another one of the good ones here right now. And then one more thing I want to show you. So beacons are also a tough thing to get. And then another thing that just, you've seen, I've started trying to build with some obsidian here too. So, and obsidian takes forever to mine. It's just like, oh, it's gross, okay? But there's a couple of things, and these are probably going to get fixed soon, so take advantage while you can. But one of the things right now, if you mine your ender chest, and if you don't know how to build an ender chest, this is easy. This is just, it's a handful of obsidian and an eye of ender, which isn't tough to get. So as you can see, I have 42 of these things, and these are, I've got a couple of them scattered throughout Gargantuan. But Silk Touch, use a Silk Touch on this thing, and this is how you actually have to pick up an ender chest anyway. So if you don't use a Silk Touch, it comes apart, and you end up with just the obsidian. And so that's kind of what would normally happen. But I'm going to show you. So, alright, here we go. One ender chest. But I used Silk Touch. it still gave me the ender chest back, and it gave me the obsidian. So it's not realizing that it should have taken the ender chest away from me. So this is much faster than mining any amount of obsidian anywhere else, even with beacons and efficiency 5 axes. So you can kind of take this to the next level, as I always like to do, and one of the easiest things to do is just stack these. So I've built as many ender chests as I could, and I'm literally just building a tower into the sky. So you can see I've got 32 obsidian blocks there, and once we stack these, what did I have, 41, 42, we'll see how many I get out of this. So yeah, 32. Let's see what happens. Make sure you use your silk touch one, otherwise you're going to lose all of your ender chests. But I can see my obsidian going up and my ender chests getting recollected here. Awesome. So we'll just you know, just hold the trigger down while we go through this. We'll see how many stacks of obsidian we can get. If you're good at math in your head, you're way ahead of me, but I am not good at math in my head, so we're gonna do this here. Ender chests do take a couple of seconds to mine as well, so. I want to be careful about not mining a hole in gargantuan once I get to the bottom here. So I think one left, so I'm gonna step off. All right. Yep. So look at all of this obsidian. That can you imagine mining that in down in some cave where there's lava? Oh my gosh, that'd be awful. Alright, and then one more, using the same trick. So this trick does work with some other things, like I think like droppers and furnaces or something right now. But beacons, so I only actually got one beacon the legit way here. But basically what you have to do to get beacons is you need to go into the nether and get wither skulls. And then you have to spawn a wither, and you need to kill a wither to get the wither nether star, whatever it's called. And that gets you one beacon. So that process takes a while. And then building and killing a wither is probably one of the most stressful things you can do. And there are some safe ways that I haven't tested out in the Bedrock Edition yet. But okay, so let's just stop here, right? Beacons. So I've got a beacon here. I've got 14 in my inventory. I just placed the one down, and I'm using the silk touch axe again. And look at how many just came. So, alright, I need to fix gargantuan here. I wasn't careful. Sorry, gargantuan. 16. So I'm getting 2 every time I do this. So, you know, my buddy and I went, and we got a beacon the legit way. And then we just did this. And so, gargantuan itself has 4 beacons on each corner. That's keeping my speed and my health regen and my resistance, and then my extra power over there on the right. That's keeping those going constantly as long as I'm close to gargantuan. So 4 beacons on each side, 16 beacons total, and as you can see, it's not a problem to keep getting more and more beacons. So great. So I like to keep those safekeeping in here in my ender chest. Alright guys, so those are the kind of the big ones that I'm aware of right now. I know some of them they'll probably fix the duplicating the beacons, and the mining obsidian will probably get fixed sooner than later. I'm not sure about the replicator machine that I've got built, just because it is relying on lag to get you that extra bonus by being in the realm. So I know it doesn't work if you're just playing on your console by yourself, but yeah, this little simple contraption here, and that's been done tons and tons and tons in the past. I've seen everybody kind of make something similar to this, but yeah, on the realm, on Bedrock Edition, being able to craft stacks at a time just works wonders. All right.